Hey guys, so in this video, I will be sharing with you some of my views regarding Sentinel after using her for several patches in the CN version. And usually in my should you pull video, I start off with the kit explanation. However, I already have done that before in a previous video, so please do check out the video description. I will put a link to this video which contain her kit explanation, rotation, and team composition. And instead in this video, I will talk about Reverie, and based on Reverie, then we decide if we want to pull for her or not, because at this point in time, Reverie is the end game. But here, let me answer this first. If you don't care about Reverie, you are a casual player, and you are just doing raid maybe or any other content that come up, but you are not so focused on Reverie, because in Reverie we need a lot of characters because of the lockout stages, right? You need 4 teams. So if each team is 4, you need 16 units. But if you're playing any other content, technically you just need 4, or some now need 5. So in that case, like Nautica, you have Flooded Page, you have Fatutu, then you don't have any more slot to put in Sentinel, then it's okay to skip. So I'm gonna put this out right now. If you don't bother about Reverie, you can skip Sentinel. So now let us look into Reverie if you need to still pull for Sentinel or not. Alright, and here I'm going to directly compare with Flutter Page because she is kind of sharing the same position with Flutter Page in Nautica's team, because Samwise is the mainstay with Nautica. So that leaves us with 2 slots. One is for sub DPS support and one is for sustain. Sustain is Fatutu or Robusca, but we do not get Robusca yet. And then for the sub DPS is either Sentinel or Flutter Page. So I'm going to directly compare with Flutter Page. For 450 meter dash 1, we can see that Sentinel is actually one of the top used character on the 6th place compared to Flutter Page, which is on the 11th. And here you want to check out the team comp. So you can see that Sentinel is mostly in Nautica's team. There is no other team that features Sentinel. Although you actually can use her in other team, which I mentioned in the other video. But yeah, for Reverie, you will end up using Sentinel mainly with Nautica. And Flutter Page, however, you can use her with like the Assassin team for 400 meter dash 4. So this is something you want to plan out, right? Like where will you put your Flutter Page? Will it be with other team? Or you can already complete all the other stage without needing Flutter Page to be there. Which means in that case, you can put Flutter Page with Nautica. And hence, in that situation, you don't need Sentinel, right? So this is the logic, okay? If you don't need to put Flutter Page in any other teams, then you will put her in Nautica's team, then you don't need Sentinel. If you need Flutter Page in any other team, then likely you will need Sentinel, okay? But let us check out the next stage. Okay, so here is 400 meter dash 2. Sentinel is not featured in any of this team in the CN version. I tried to look for it, there is no Sentinel. Okay, because this stage is a little bit special, tricky, you kind of need follow-up attacks, and you also want some rank attack, which is why here they also use Liang Yue because of the rank up. And when Liang Yue is there, then you just throw in Flutter Page, right? Also here they use Impromptu with Flutter Page as well. Alright, apart from that, most of the team for 400 meter dash 2 is plant team. So do check if you have the plant team suitable for this fight. If not, then you may consider using Liang Yue's team. In that case, you definitely want to have Flutter Page, or else you will have not enough damage to clear the fight. Maybe, okay, I'm not too sure if you can actually clear it or not if you don't have Flutter Page, but yeah, if you're playing Liang Yue, it's just much better if you have Flutter Page, okay? And the next one here is 450 meter dash 3, and here we have Sentinel is the third most used, but Flutter Page is the 5th most. So if you look at the team comp again, Sentinel is always in Nautica's team. Flutter Page is also in Nautica's team. Yeah, but she is also in Winsong's team, which can clear this stage. I have a video on that as well. She is also in Ezio Assassin Poison team. So this is another key factor. If you have Ezio, you want Flutter Page to be with Ezio, right? Okay, so this for 400 meter dash 3. Then for the last one, 400 meter dash 4, is the same thing, but this time is with Anjo Nala. Okay, Anjo Nala can cheese this fight, right? If you do it right. And with Flutter Page in helping her to get more AP, with increasing her damage, then you will have sufficient damage to kill the boss. Without Flutter Page, you might be lacking on, in terms of damage to actually kill the boss. But again, I'm not exactly sure because I didn't do it without Flutter Page. For the CN version, definitely once we get this in global version, I will try more team comps, like using Flutter Page or don't use Flutter Page. I have more option in the GL version as my account is more complete, so there are more things that I can try out. Okay, yeah. So again, this is for 450 meter dash 4 comparison between Sentinel and Flutter Page. And here is the list of the teams that I use to complete Reverie 500 meter. Just for your information, I did not show you 450 meter because I really cannot remember or recall what team I actually used for 450 meter, but I know I don't have Sentinel and I did all of it without Sentinel. But one thing, I was very reliant on assist unit. I'm pretty sure 450 meter dash 2, I did it when Marcus was an assist, and I done that. The rest is characters that I have, and I was indeed using Nautica Sentinel with Flutter Page. Sorry, Nautica Samawise with Flutter Page and Fatutu. So I don't have Sentinel. And then 450 meter dash 1, I was using Dynamo. And 450 meter dash 4, it was Beacon Bloom. And here 500 meter, I use Nautica's team but featuring Flutter Page and Fatutu. And then 500 meter dash 2, I was doing the ultimate team with Recoleta, Beacon Bloom to cheese. And then 500 meter dash 3, Hisabeth is not technically required, but I was using the cheese strategy, which kind of need Cassandra. Okay, so some of you may not have Cassandra because she was limited. I did mention that time, don't skip Cassandra, but I guess a lot of people still skip Cassandra. So in this case, you might want to revisit back what team you want to use for 500 meter dash 3. Yeah, you can use other team. The first clear that I did was without Cassandra anyway. And then after that, the fourth team for 500 meter dash 4, I was using Dynamo. Okay, initially it was without Corvus, but yeah, after she released, then I redo it. And yeah, so this is the team. None of it have Sentinel. So coming back to the most important question, should you pull for Sentinel? Here, the last consideration, 500 meter. I haven't done this in my CN account. I don't have sufficient team. I don't think I can use Axis. And Axis changes, so and the current one that they feature is like, yes, I have Samawise there, but I don't think I can form like 6 different complete teams using just relying mainly on the assists. And I'm missing quite a lot of characters for a completed team. So I did not try to attempt this. So here is what I have to say. If you want to challenge this, you should and must pull for Sentinel because you want to have a complete blood tie team where Flutter Page will definitely not be in blood tie team. She will be in your assassin team if you have assassin unit, or coming up, in CN version. Even the new Anjo Nala requires Flutter Page. There's just so many teams that uses Flutter Page, And if you want her to be like dedicated for just the Blood Tie team, I kind of feel that it's a bit risky, right? Because once you use Flutterpage for somewhere else, then your Nautica team may not function as good. So I would definitely get Sentinel just to make sure my Nautica will be good. However, if you really just don't care, like in CN version, I pretty much don't care about this at this point. That's because the reward is so insignificant. The amount of investment you need to put in order to complete this just doesn't work with whatever reward that they are giving us. But I'm not complaining because this is like the end game. It's not like you are forced to clear it in order to get something very important, or you have to clear it every single week to get something. So I think for Blue Pork to do this, like a very difficult fight, a very demanding fight, that you need to invest a lot into the game in order to do this, it's not a bad idea. And it's not like, some people will say that, oh, the game now is so greedy that they come up with content that you need to pull every single character in order to clear it, and now if I don't pull some character, I will not be able to clear stages and stuff. But come on, this is the end game, right? So if you can't do it, it's fine. You're not losing out a lot. You still can enjoy the game nonetheless. The one that is a problem in other gacha game is that when they lock you out, or when they force you to pull in order to clear recent event, which gives you more pool currency, right? So that you will feel like you are losing out, especially when the reward is like it's only 2 weeks. So if you don't clear in these 2 weeks, the reward is gone. So that will put a pressure on us, forcing us to pull for more units in order to clear it. But this is permanent. Alright, this stage is permanent. You don't have to force yourself to do it at this point. And believe me, over time you will get stronger. Power creeping is definitely something that happens in a gacha game. So as time goes by, few months later after this is released in the global version, you don't have Sentinel. Few months later, you probably have even stronger unit, and then you can clear this. Okay, more team are coming in, like the Afterglow. And at that point, you might have more than 6 archetype that you can use against this fight. So in that case, yeah, if you don't care about this, you don't have to pull for Sentinel, okay? You can keep your resource and pull for Charon, which I know a lot of you are saving for Charon. I personally would too. I definitely think that Charon is a better character overall compared to Sentinel. So sorry for any Sentinel fans out there. It's just a personal opinion. I really do like Charon gameplay much better. Alright, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.